The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode number 22 of the CJ Howard Show on this better-looking Sunday night than what we had last Sunday. At this time, we had almost 5 or 6 inches of snow on the ground in a lot of places. But tonight, no snow, hardly on the ground at all. Temperatures a little bit better, weather a little bit better too. I'm CJ Howard with you for another Sunday night of Sports Talk as we get you set. Guys, we want you to get the phone out this week. We want you to give us a call. 1-346-314-0906. You can hear us or see us on the Facebook, YouTube, and on the D&D Sports Network here tonight. We had to do some rearranging, so if you saw one promo, a lot of the guests were the same, except I had to change my co-host and one guest. Judie, Coach Mason couldn't make it tonight. She had a prior thing that she had forgotten about, so Jeff Honeycutt is going to take her spot as well, and then we'll talk about my co-host in just a moment. Brad Sizemore is going to join us in 10 minutes, the head basketball coach of the Bell County Bobcats. Then we're going to hear from Coach Jeff Honeycutt, the North County Central Lady Patriots basketball coaches. They get ready to head to the All-A this week. They'll get set to play Wednesday afternoon in the All-A. We'll talk about that too. Coach Lynn head basketball coach Rodney Clarke is going to join us at 9 o'clock. And at 9:30, we're going to hear from Courtney for the first time in quite a while. We haven't heard from her. Usually it's been John or Camille before Camille had left. We're going to hear from Courtney, and I'm excited about that. My co-host tonight was supposed to have been Josh McKinney, but Josh had some family problems that or family stuff that he had to take care of, so he asked for another day. I was well to work with him, so I was really tickled to be able to get a replacement. And he's the better half of me, one half of the Howard brothers. You all know my brother Shane. Well, this is Dan. Of course, you all know Dan. He is the head football coach at Hazard. Also, is I call him the pupil personnel at the board. He takes care of like the students won't know if they're in school or not in school. So we'll discuss a little bit about that. Dan, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, CJ. I know you've asked me a couple times, and it's hard for me to, 9 o'clock is usually my bedtime, so it's going to be tough for me. If I fall asleep, just wake me up there, just nod, holler at me, and I'll be ready to go.
Well, you won't fall asleep on me. You'll do well. Let's talk a little bit about this weather. It's been causing havoc on a lot of things. School, sporting events, anything, other events. Tell me how many days you actually got in last week in the Hazard school system.
We went 3 days. We took Thursday and Friday off and did one day was NTI, the other one was a snow day. And I've seen already Perry County is NTI all week this week, and I think a lot of schools are doing that because of the COVID numbers, and everybody's kind of getting worried about that. And they're really high right now, and supposedly we're at our peak, and hopefully they'll start going down because you don't want to see basketball games canceled or, these kids, they want to play, and then it's tough. And with these numbers being so high, it's just a little bit scary for everybody to be, in gyms and in schools, and it's just a little bit dangerous.
I would figure a lot more schools will go NTI. Prairie Central was doing it, as you said. I think I saw where maybe Lawrence County was doing it. Some other schools are. I know Leslie County is going to try to go on the 2-hour delay tomorrow. They're only doing that because of the weather. I think they're going to try a day or two, see what the numbers are in the COVID. If it's high, then they'll probably go NTI the rest of the week. So I expect that to happen probably in a lot of places. As you said, the numbers are up. They're at an astonishing rate right now. But I've always said that I thought that by end of January, middle of February, we'll be back to about middle ways or pretty much at the peak of where we was at when we were having the high numbers. First of all, another thing we want to talk about before we talk with Coach Sizemore is we want everybody to give our prayers to Cameron Bradford, senior guard at Leslie County High School. Last night during the Leslie County-Lee County game, an unfortunate accident happened to him. The young man was hurt pretty bad. They took him to UK hospital. I have not heard anything else on that. I know they wanted to get him there and get surgery started. He did break his leg last night in the game. We want everybody to give our prayers to Cameron. This is a great young man. He played football. I think, Dan, you remember him playing football this year. He came back for
Yeah, I
that
remember.
second year.
Yeah, you hate to see, especially the seniors. You know, we had Andrew Ford was going through the same thing. He actually had surgery Thursday, and everything went really well. He had a tore ACL and the meniscus, and he's recovering at his home right now. You just hate to see a senior have to go through that and miss, especially their senior year, and it's over for.
We want to pray for Brad. We also want to pray for Mr. Ford. He's a great young man. I've talked to him many times off the field when I would come watch Hazard play. I met his mom and dad actually at the All A. They were sitting right behind me, so they're really nice people. So hopefully we'll get that took care of. We're going to go ahead and bring in Coach Sizemore. But I wanted to go. I'll remit you this again at the end of the show. Brad and anybody else that we don't want to see none of our athletes ever get hurt. Last night was a very sad event, and we'll hopefully Brad will recover from that, and hopefully the team was a little distraught last night, but hopefully they'll pull together. Right now that was just I think a lot of people didn't know how to respond to that what had happened last night. So but please keep them in your prayers. With us right now, the head basketball coach of the Bell County Bobcats, Mr. Brad Sizemore. Coach, it is great to have you with us tonight. We were just discussing a couple of players that have been injured, one for Hazard, and last night, of course, Leslie County lost one of their kids due to a broken leg. Coach, how are you guys doing, and how's everything over there in Bell County?
I'm good, CJ. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Yeah, we're doing good. We're off to a really good season so far.
I'm presuming you guys are healthy too. I mean, we don't want we always talk about injuries at this time of the year, and we've seen a lot of teams have some key injuries that really have really put some seasons in some different ways. Are you guys pretty healthy?
Yeah, for the most part, we've not had any injuries. Now, we've been hit by COVID. We played the last two games, down a couple seniors. One of our fifth starter and our sixth man has not played the last couple days, but hoping to get those guys back this week. We've got 3 tough home games coming up. So outside of that, we've been really lucky. We've not had a major setback with guys missing. Dawson Woolen, one of our main guards, he was out 3 games with mono 2 or 3 weeks back. But outside of that, we've been lucky as far as people not getting hurt.
I think the one thing we've been really, injury. We talk about injuries. Try to keep your kids. We don't want to forget about COVID, but we've also the flu is right now really hitting teams hard. I've seen a lot of teams had to cancel games because they've had not COVID, but the flu.
Yeah, I mean, it's January, it's wintertime. I mean, things are going to come up. But like I said, for the most part, outside of a couple kids recently getting sick, we've been very fortunate so far. And hopefully, 4 weeks left in the regular season, we can keep everybody healthy down the stretch here.
Yeah, we're
Coach Sizemore.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Coach Sizemore, yeah, that's all right. I don't think I know you personally, but I've kept up with you. I know at North Laurel you did a fantastic job, and then I know at Bell County you're doing a great job over there also. I was going to mention, I know you and Bobby Bolin are friends, and Bobby's been really sick, and I know we talked about prayers for some kids, but especially Bobby Bolin. I know he's back home. I don't know if he's watching or anything now, but hopefully everybody kind of keep him in their prayers also.
Yeah, me and Bobby go back to early mid 2000s from Eastern Kentucky, and then helping. He was there a few years when I was at South Laurel as an assistant, and then he helped us on that 2012 team at North Laurel the first year I was there. So he's battling. I try to talk to him as often as I can. Sometimes he responds, sometimes he doesn't. But I know that he's doing everything he can, and I know that he's got a lot of people caring about him and praying for him. And if anybody can get through what he's going through right now, it's Bob, because he is one of the toughest guys that I know. And if he's out there watching the show, I hope he knows how much that I care about him and what he means to me. And he's a really good sports person, a great basketball coach. I hate that he's got sick like this, because he he was right in the middle of doing what he wanted to do. And like I said, I hope he's back on his feet soon, getting out there on the sidelines.
Yeah, I hope so too. He was at Hazard for 4 or 5 years there. Just a great guy, and did a lot for Hazard. Coached girls basketball and boys basketball, and I ended up, I think, Somerset, Powell County, a couple of places, but back home at Owsley County. And then this happened. But like you said, if anybody can beat this, it's Bobby Bowling.
Yeah. Bob's like I said, he's a great guy, and I think he's going to pull through with this. I hope him and his family know how much that we're praying for him and thinking about him.
Yeah.
I had Bobby on the show back about a month ago. He was at that time he was getting set to go to Houston for more tests and see how things were going. And Dan just I think was the first I'd heard of that. So we do need to keep Bobby in our prayers. We've been doing that anyway on this show from week to week because Bobby's a really great guy. When he was on here, he wasn't real. When he was on the show the first couple weeks ago, he was didn't have a lot of energy to him, but he got through the show and did a really good job. And we just want to keep him in our prayers because he's a good man. He does a lot for athletics. Coach,
sorry guys, I got a special guest coming into the show here. There's 3 of them, so
I've got 2. I got 2.
I tried to hide from him, so
that's all right.
Hello.
I got 2 and a new puppy, so I could have one of his. One of them might jump up.
We'll do the best we can, yes.
Coach, you have really you've done very well so far. Got a nice record. You're 14-3. You won some impressive games. I know. Don't you guys seed?
Yeah, I mean we're 2-1 in the district right now. We've got a huge home game Tuesday with Harlan City. We've not played them yet. We split with Harlan County, and then we're 1-0 with Middlesboro. So Tuesday night, is going to be huge for us, just to give ourselves a chance to either get in a 2 or 3-way tie with the 2 Harlans. Like I said, we've been very fortunate so far to play well. We've had some huge wins for us. This team that we have has basically been in the makings for the last 3 seasons. When I first got here, we started 4 sophomores, and we're very inexperienced. Had a lot of returners last year with 1 senior, and basically had the entire team coming back. So, we've got 7 seniors, and Dawson Woolham is a reclass junior. So, technically we've got 8 guys that's been together the entire time. And I think our record just shows, the growth that we've had, the experience of those kids that have been in. If you go back and look at our record, we've played a really tough schedule the 2 previous years and lost several heartbreaking games. But this year, again, we've got a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of seniors, and they're just finding finding ways to win close ball games down the stretch. And that's just a credit to them. I don't think I've done any better coaching job this year, or I've tried, for the most part, I've tried to stay out of these guys' way. I think they have a good concept of how we want to play. They know how to win, and they've done enough losing as underclassmen the last 2 seasons, and I feel like that they're very motivated and on a mission to do whatever that we're capable of doing this year. But they've surprised me at times. We've had huge wins on the road at South Laurel and Corbin, and then broke a 17-game losing streak to Harlan County at the beginning of the year. So, these guys are out to prove to themselves, our town, everybody in the district and region, that we can play at this level, and they've done that so far. But my experience does tell me this, that there's 13 regular season games left in the district tournament play, so there's a lot of basketball in front of us, and we try not to harp on what we did yesterday and our records. We're just trying to take the next practice and the next game. We just want to be the best that we can be each day and try to continue to get better, because I think the teams that continue to stay hungry, especially going down to the into February, that are peaking at the right time, will be the teams that make a run at this thing at the end. So, at this point, I'm more than pleased and happy with the way they've played, but we've still got a long road ahead of us.
Your goal is to get.
You can't really.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead, CJ. When you got experienced kids.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
when you got some seniors and experience that you can't replace that, and when I've dealt with that here at Hadron first year. Where I think we started 5 freshmen, and the rule is every freshman you start, you're going to get a loss, and that's kind of the rule. But, when them guys get older and you got seniors playing, you can tell a difference, and it makes a big difference when you've got kids with experience and kids that know how to play and just know the routine. When you got kids that have been there and done that.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference with this group this year is just, in the last 2 minutes of the game, we're finding ways to win instead of finding ways to lose them. We went to South Laurel and made 9 free throws in the fourth quarter in a row. Went on the road at Corbin, didn't play well early, trailed most of the game, and then the last minute and a half just kind of took the game from them and made 6 free throws to seal it. Sometimes last year, and especially 2 years ago when those kids were sophomores, we would turn the ball over late, go 1 of 4 to finish the game from the line, and you just can't win at a high level doing that. And like I said, it's still early, but at this point, we've had some big wins just doing those simple things that veteran ball clubs do, and I just think that it's a testimony to these kids. They've stuck with me so far, and it means a lot to them. We come in every day and work tremendously hard. They did a great job this offseason of getting stronger and working on their craft at all areas. I think we're shooting the ball a little bit better than we have in the past, and we're not turning it over as much. So it's been a collective effort. We obviously got some guys that are playing big for us. Cameron Burnett is just, we went to Middlesboro Friday, and he ended up with 14 points in the game, but he just kind of put us on his back, rebounding and just doing the little things, handling the ball, making huge plays down the stretch. So, he's been a warrior all year for us, and we've kind of when he's played really well, we've been really good. So, Dawson Woolham is another guy that has kind of got off to a slow start from the standpoint.
Hold on a minute, Coach. I think we got a phone call. Okay, go ahead. Thought I heard the phone line ringing, but they was already off.
But no,
yeah, we're good. Go
just to touch on some of our guys. Cam's played really well this year, and then like I said, Dawson Woolham has somewhat got off to a slow start from the standpoint. He got hurt at the end of the football season against Belfry, had to miss a week or so there. Then he played really good in Florida, and then came down with mono. So he's he was out the Corbin and the South Laurel game, and Harlan County on the road. So we finally got him back. He's played well the last 2 games, and I think you'll see him turn it on here in the last month because he is really talented and can score in a lot of different ways. We just need to keep him in the gym and keep him healthy moving forward. And Dalton Stepp's another guy that I've got to touch on because he's honestly at this point been the biggest difference maker in our team. He's averaging 14 points a game. He's just stepped up all areas of his game. He's shooting over 80% from the foul line. He's made a lot of free throws down the stretch to win a lot of these key games for us. And Hayden Caleb's is another one, that sometimes doesn't score a lot, but he's our primary ball handler and will rebound and guard a post player. He does a lot of stuff. But we've got several guys I could sit here and talk about. But again, it's been a group effort, and I feel like this team has made a jump in the right direction, and hopefully we can keep it going moving forward.
You look at the 2 Harlan games coming up; they're monster games because if you can win them both, then you're going to put yourself the number 1 seed. Then you're going to put the 2 Harlan teams having to play each other in the district, and that's what you want because that'll get you I mean, Millsboro's a good ball club, but you got to win these 2 games against Harlan.
Yeah, I mean, I found this out when I came over here to the 52nd. There is no easy games. All 3 of those teams. They're well coached. The 2 Harlans, they just got a bunch of guys that can absolutely wear it out from the 3-point line. They've got some guys that can score it in bunches. I'm sure everybody here has seen the game from last night with Trent Noah going off for 66 or 68 points, whatever it was, and then Harlan City won our district last year with everybody back, and Jordan Cowles, averaging 30+ points last week, and Middlesboro's a lot better than people that, they've got a couple kids that's gotten eligible after Christmas break, and they made a deep run in football and got their kids late. But I can tell you this, playing them Friday night, they're huge. They're way bigger than us. They've got a lot of guys that give us a lot of problems. So there's not going to be any easy game. But no, you're right. One thing is we didn't get to play Harlan City at home at all last year. We only got to play them once at their place, and this is another game that we've had circled on our schedule since the beginning. And I just hope that if we do get beat Tuesday night, it's because we played as good as we can and they were just better. I think our guys are going to show up ready to go. We've not lost a home game at this point, and we want to try to keep that going. We're taking pride in defending our home court, and it's going to be a tough task. Though, like I said, both of those teams, if you let them run up and down and do what they want, they've got some guys that can put some points on the board. But, I like our team, and I think our guys are going to give us a chance to come out with a win Tuesday.
Well, Coach, you got a great team. You're in I always say the 13th region is the most difficult region to maneuver through, especially on the boys' side. There is sharks everywhere. I mean, you got there ain't an area that you can't walk by somebody, you ain't going to get poked and get hurt if you don't pay attention. Because you got North, you got Jackson County, who's improved a ton. They got better. I saw where OBI won a big game last night over somebody.
Coach Hibbert, that's my former assistant at North. Yeah, Anthony Hibbert.
Yeah, he beat
he actually, Barberville, Chris Taylor, that's my assistant last 2 years at Bell. So, them guys are going head-to-head. They're both doing tremendous jobs. But you're right. I mean, here's the thing on the 13th that I think people don't understand. Just being in it, I played in the 12th, but, when we came over, when I was an assistant at South, came over into the 13th and been here the rest of the time, year in and year out, there's 8 to 10 really good teams. There's every year there's, 2-3 teams that don't make it to the regional tournament. You throw them in different regions and they can make a run at it. I just think, all these regular season games, you see a lot of scores each morning. You're like, the common fan that doesn't really understand it, they're like, well, can you believe so-and-so beat whoever last night? And you can, because here there is no easy games. You go into every one of these districts, the Whitley counties, Jackson counties, Barbervilles, Middlesboro's, just because, Williamsburg's having a great year, just because they're not ranked in the top 3 or 4 each week doesn't mean that they don't have a really nice club. And that's the thing. In the 13th, you got to be ready to play, because if you're not, you can take an L on any given night. And I just think that's a testimony. To go ahead.
Everybody but 4 teams in that region has a winning record. I mean, over 10 wins. The 4 teams that do not have over 10 wins are Whitley County, OBI, Middlesboro, Clay County, which you would have never thought Clay County would ever been in the bottom of
we got Clay County coming up. Clay County's good. They just they're kind of like where I was at 2 years ago. They're starting a lot of freshmen. They've got a nice team, and they're playing a tremendously tough schedule. If you go look at they played Henry Clay Saturday. They got Covenant Catholic coming up. So that happens. I've been there, but now Clay's got some players. They're just underclassmen. But I just think when you look at all these teams and the seasons that they're all having, I just think it's a testimony to the coaching in our region and how much pride there is from all the schools, all the teams in all these districts. And everybody's no different than us. We all want to have a great team. Everyone wants to have a great season, and everybody in this region works tremendously hard at it. So I mean, you can see why there's a lot of balance in there.
Well, Coach, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Till somebody beats Knox Central, they're the kings of the region, and I mean they're getting better. I mean their last 2 wins have been very impressive. They had a big win over Corbin the other night, Friday night. Then last night they beat Tate's Creek at home.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had a great run in the 2A tournament, made it to the finals. Almost beat Lexington Catholic, who's rated top 5 in the state. I mean, it just tells you how good 13th region basketball is, and that's why I prefer to go watch the 13th region tournament. It's closer to my home. It's much entertaining basketball on both the boys and the girls, so it's really great. I have a phone call. Hold on 1 minute. Let me take this phone call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the CJ Harris Show. What's up, Q-Man? What's on your mind tonight? Well, that's what me and Coach Sizemore was just talking about right then, how dominant the 13th region is. Everybody but 4 teams over there has a winning record, and that's impressive. You don't see that often. The other 3 regions, I bet you can't find 3 teams that have a winning record. The rest of them have losing records. So the 13th is definitely where basketball is being played the best at. But you know what? When it gets tournament time, and Coach Sizemore will commit to this, you wind up having 4 great games instead of having a couple of good games, because there's not a weak team of the 8 that make it to region that can win the region when they get there. And Coach Sizemore, he's just like me. He knows his basketball. He knows this region well. You do too, Q, because that's where you cover. That's where you come from. That's what you cover. So it's very exciting to see that. But we got like 4 weeks left, and we'll see how things go. No, but I will tell him that he cannot hear. But Coach Sizemore, the Q-Man is on the phone line, and he says that your son is going to be the next Tiger Woods. He says that he's never seen a young man hit a golf ball in his life. Okay, he's already hung up on it. But
yeah,
thank you, Q-Man, for calling. But he said your son's going to be the next.
I don't know about all that. He sent me a message yesterday. I put a video of him hitting or something on Facebook, and he sent me the same message. He's 4, he likes it, but I don't know about all that. But I appreciate the comment.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you go. I know you got a lot to get ready for. You got a big week of basketball. I also want to remind everybody, if you are in the Bell County area, Friday night and Saturday, I've got some all-day basketball coming up. Pride of the Mountains basketball showcase. They got, I think, 3 games Friday night, Coach, and 4 or 5 on Saturday.
I hope I don't say this wrong. There's 2 games Friday night. I think our girls play Lynn camp, if I'm right, and then we play your team, Leslie County Eagles, Friday night, and then Saturday, Wolfe County takes on South Laurel. We play Garrett County. Garrett County's really good. They've got a really good junior in Ethan Cooper. And then Washburn, Tennessee plays Oneida Baptist, and then Washburn, Tennessee girls plays Bell County girls. So it'll be 6 games in 2 days. It's a big event for us. We've continued to try to grow it a little bit. Hopefully, moving forward, we'll get some more teams in there. Maybe bring some out-of-state teams. But it's kind of early in the stages of it. But we're pleased with the lineup that we got for this season.
Well, if you're going to be in the Bell County area, get out there and check that out Friday night, Saturday night. Pride of the Mountain Showcase at Bell County High School. Coach, it's been an absolute honor to have you on the show again. Anytime I call you, I know you'll be there for me, and we'll get a good interview out of you. Good luck to your team, and I wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. See you, Dan.
Thank you. Coach Brad Sizemore of the Bell County Bobcats. His Bell County Bobcats really going on a good run right now. Dan, let's comment by Coach Larry Sparks. He says, CJ, how much older is Dan than you? I'll let him after that one.
That's a good one. I think about 8 years, right, CJ? I think it's about 8 years. Obviously, I'm the better looking of the 3 brothers. I mean, that's obvious. That's always been the.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. A little bit ago, one phone call that we didn't get to was by John Knoll. And I wish John would call back because he does have an update on Cameron. He was trying to call twice, but he couldn't get through. John, please call back. I really want you to call us back and give us an update on Cameron because I really want to know how he's doing. But if you could call back, John, I would appreciate that. We'll try to get you on the air. The phone number for the show is phone number is 346-314-0906. We're going to have Coach Jeff Honeycutt of the Knott County Central Lady Patriots coming up here just a little bit. We was talking about before we went to break, injuries and people getting hurt. We're praying for them. Let's get into a few coaching hires that we've known in the past couple weeks. I haven't really harped on the phone ringing. Let's go to the phone line. Let's see if we can let's see. Okay, we'll try to get this phone call in here. Go ahead, caller. You're on the CJ Harris Show. Hi, John Knoll. How's it going, sir? Well, no, I'd rather hear from you, John. This is why we got this show. I want to hear from my fans out there. I'd love to hear from you guys. He's a yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. Okay. Okay. You did, John. I had Bobby Thomas's Jeanette come last night after the game. She was telling us that you was up there at the helicopter pad when Brad was leaving, and Brad saw you and looked at you and said, "John, please pray for me. Please pray for me." He's he was hurting pretty bad, John. And if you'd have been there and seen the end of what had happened, it would have. It was not nice, and we would really want to pray for him. Brad's a great boy. Brad's one of my favorite people on the team. He's funny. He works hard. He plays hard. He never says a word to the coaches. Gives them 110%. And I just hope he can be able to get back to what Brad used to be. Well, what you did for him, John, was very special, and I was glad that you were there for Brad because the boys were distraught after the game, and they just didn't know how to handle that, and we got to pray for Brad, pray for the family, and hopefully the Brad will be back. Hopefully, he can get back to some normalcy someday. Yeah. It was a tough night for everybody in there when they saw it happen, John. It was a pretty tough night. I know a lot of people had tears in their eyes. I had a tear in my eye because Brad's been one of my favorite players. For him to come back for a 5th year, I was very impressed with that, and unfortunately, it comes to an end. So we just need to keep him in our prayers and make sure he can get back to some normalcy. I will. We get to go to Jenkins, and we're going to have us a fun trip over and get us a W. Okay. No snow, and we're going to go over and try to get us. Yep. No COVID, no snow, and we'll try to get us a W. No, but if he definitely got in on the conversation of who's the better looking one of all three of us, he's going to say he is. So, we'll. Well, no, he's not, and he's not called yet because I would have recognized his number. But I saw where Coach Honeycutt tried to call us there a second ago, so we'll try to see if we can't get up with him in a few minutes. Thank you, John Noel. You're a good man. Thank you. All right, that was Coach. That was Mr. John Noel. Call and give him this update on Brad. I see where Coach Honeycutt's trying to call him. We're going to try to call him. I don't usually try this, but we'll see if we can't get up with him. Okay, it went to voicemail, so hopefully Coach Honeycutt will call us back. Tried to call him, but it went to voicemail, so we'll see if that works. I know you can all hear the phone calls, Dan, but they said they put the rod in his leg today. They may hope that he gets to come home tomorrow. Everybody continue to pray for Brad. We also want to continue to pray for Mr. Ford there at Hazard. He had ACL surgery this past week, and we want to also remember him in our prayers.
Like I said, you hate to see any kid get hurt. That's part of coaching that really kills you when you see a kid go down and lost for a season, and you just hope that it doesn't affect them for the rest of their lives. That's the main thing. This is just a small part of what they're doing, and there's life beyond sports, and that's what it's all about. And hopefully it just doesn't affect them after that. And I'm sure he'll make a full recovery. Both of them will. It's just tough for them, especially both of them being seniors. You hate to see any kid get hurt, but especially a senior and their senior year. And in his case, we played Leslie County. He played well. I remember him playing well. And of course, with Andrew Ford, he was, I think, leading the region in scoring. And when you got a kid like that goes down, it's tough for the small schools, and you just don't have kids like that on the bench you can just bring back in and replace them, and it makes it tough on everybody.
But we've been talking about injuries. A lot of teams have had some really key injuries as that really hurt their season. So all those kids that are hurt, we want to pray for all of them because we don't want to see nobody go down and get hurt. That's not what the sporting event's about. But before we had John call us, we were talking about a couple of coaching hires, and the latest coaching hire happened on Friday. Joe Beater, this is his second term at Knott County as he took over the program for the Patriots. What's your thoughts about that? Coach Beater backing head football coach.
Well, Coach Beater's, one of my all-time favorites. He was my coach my freshman, sophomore, and junior season. And I've known Coach Beater since I was old enough to walk the sidelines over in Leslie County, and I know he's a football guy. And every time I get a big win over here, when we beat Pikeville last year, he was one of the first guys to message me. And when I got the principal job and kind of moved up over here, he's always the first guy that messages me and keeps up with me. And I try to keep up with him. And he's just a good guy. And he's always been, about the kids. And that's what it's all about. And Knott County knows what they're getting with Coach Beater. They've had him over there before. And I think he went back to Breathitt maybe or somewhere. But they know what they're getting out of Coach Beater. He's a good guy. He's not going to do anything to embarrass the program. He's going to make those kids work. And he's always going to be prepared. That's the thing about Coach Beater. Every game, he's going to watch film. He's going to be ready against whoever they're playing. and he's going to have his team ready.
I was noticing his full beard that he had during the press conference. I said he looked like Santa Claus, and I said he looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah, I saw him. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. We played him. He was at Breathitt County, and somebody hollered at me. And I looked over, and there he was, and he had that head full of white hair and that beard. And at first, I didn't recognize him, and then I realized who it was, and it's solid white. And I guess that's what you get. You either get this or you get solid white when you coach teenage boys and girls, and you're into coaching. That's what happens. But it's well worth it. And he just loves it, and he can't get away from it. Obviously, once you get into coaching, it's hard to get out of it. And because, the kids, there's always that group you don't want to leave behind. And there's always a kid that you feel like you can make a difference with, or you hope you can. And that's why you get into coaching.
A couple other coaching jobs. There's several out there, and I'm going to throw them at you, and you'll know who, if I don't have them on the list, we'll add them. Johnson Central hired the assistant coach on the staff, Jesse Peck.
Jesse's a great guy, too.
Yeah.
Jesse actually played there. He played there at Johnson Central under Coach Matney, and is a Hall of Famer at Johnson Central. And he was Coach Matney's right-hand man for a long time. And I'm sure Coach Matney, if he was here, he would say that would have been his pick. He's just a good guy.
And then, of course, last week we had Chris Clarke on the show. He's now the new head football coach at Rockcastle County. Took it over for Coach Scott Parkey.
Yeah, Clarke. Clarke is a name that at Rockcastle that everybody knows, and then then Parkey took over, which is kind of odd. And but Coach Parkey's a great guy also, and Coach Clarke did a great job there at North Laurel, and I think at Rockcastle they'll be back to where they were when his dad was there, and they played, I think, in 2 or 3 state finals in a row, and came close to winning a couple of those. And I think he'll get them back to where they need to be. But he's a good guy. He knows football. That whole family, was football, and Rockcastle is in good hands.
Knox Central hired their new coach. He's a former Corbin assistant. I didn't see his name. I didn't see his name though. I didn't catch his name though.
I think it's Burchett. His last name. Burchett. I think his last name maybe Burchett. Coach Burchett, I think it is. Yeah, he was at Corbin, and I think he's been a couple of different places. I don't know much about him. I know Justin, I think, knows him. Justin was actually, I talked to him the other day, and I think he's a football guy, and he's been at Corbin. Corbin's a football school, and I'm sure they got a good one.
Of course, Johnson. The only job that I know that's left open in the mountains is North Laurel, and I'm guessing they're taking their time. But I don't know if they're looking at a veteran coach or maybe somebody in the program or somebody out of the program.
Well, from my understanding, there's several guys that's put in for that. I think Coach Reimer was one of them that was at Cumberland's, but I think he ended up getting a job in Tennessee from my understanding. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's supposed to be several other guys, and they're doing interviews, and I think second interviews. Make sure they get the right guy because North Laurel, I feel like that's a place where it could be a good football school, and they have been. They got nice facilities, just got the turf field, and going to have a lot of kids to pick from. I think they're still 5A, but they're pretty close to being 6A from my understanding. And if you go 6A, that's tough, especially for a mountain team. I think they want to stay where they're at or maybe go down to 4A, which is tough. But they'll get the right guy, and it's usually best to take your time and not jump into that and make sure you get the right person.
Scott Cornett left a comment saying, "Hey, CJ, me and Joe went to school together, and we are best of friends. He's a great coach and a better person." I guess he did go to school with Coach Cornett. I tell you what, Coach Cornett's doing a heck of a job at Alice Lloyd. We're going to get to him in just a moment. I wanted to make sure we got all these coaching jobs. I think we've got them all. I don't know of any more in the mountains that are open. DeRosset back at McGoffin County. I forgot to mention that one. That was a little bit of a surprise, I thought.
Well, I think that's a big hire for McGoffin County. Coach was there at Prestonsburg forever and won several district championships, region championships. I think he played in the finals there one year and had some good teams. And, when you always played Prestonsburg when he was there, you knew it was going to be a physical, tough football game. And I think that's what he'll get McGoffin to. I talked to him the other night a little bit. We talked about throwing a little bit this summer and maybe getting together. And Coach DeRosset has been in it probably 35, 40 years. And McGoffin County's got a nice facility. I saw it not too long ago. They got a nice place over there, and if they want somebody that can start and get their program back where they want it, he's the guy.
No, what he done at Prestonsburg, the 20+ years he was there, was unbelievable.
Yeah. Consistent winner, yeah.
I know you would know more about this, but when will we see the new realignment come out?
Oh, well, they're actually meeting 3 weeks, and they sent in a survey out. They're actually, they're talking about the cross-district playoffs. They was talking about going to that next year, the 23 season. But the surveys they just sent out, they're talking about doing it this season, starting this next season.
So.
Yeah, they're talking about doing it. So our AD, of course, voted for it, and I think it's still going to be probably 85% of coaches that want to do it because you get tired of playing the same team. You don't want to turn around and play the same team again. So they're talking about it. They're meeting here in a couple of weeks. If all the votes come back that they expect, we may end up playing cross-district this year in the playoffs.
Okay, let me see if we can get a hold of Coach Honeycutt. He left me the phone number, and I thought I had the right one here a moment ago, but we'll let that happen while that's happening. But I hope it happens. Now, this RPI is killing me. I can't.
Well,
I don't.
The thing is, the RPI is still going to be there, but the first 2 rounds is going to be cross-district still. They're still going to do the RPI, but it won't be around to the 3rd round.
So the RPI would be like
3rd round.
I'll use 2A for example, the Leslie County district. So if Leslie County finished like first over there and East Ridge was 4, they would still play them. Then they would play the 2-3 loser, the McCross, like say 2 was a Middlesboro, Breathitt, and then the 3 was Prestonsburg. Then the final
was like it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it used to be. And I think the RPI wouldn't kick in actually until the 4th round because then you would have the 2 top 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 would play. Yeah.
Please.
Well, they're saying they said that they when they sent it out before, it was right at 80% of AD principals and coaches said they want to do it. And it's like, well, let's wait till 2023 of the new alignment. But at the last meeting, so many people were like, "Hey, this traveling's killing people." Teams are playing, you're playing 1 week, turn around playing the next week, you're playing the same team again, and people just don't want to do that. I
like playing different districts. I mean, that's what the playoffs are about. That's why you play. That's what it's all about. I remember when it only took 2 teams to go to the playoffs, the champion and the runner-up. That was a long time ago, but a lot of people wanted to go back to that. But you need to stay with 4 teams going to the playoffs.
I agree.
This is a basketball question, and I'll ask you because I'm going to ask Courtney later, and I'm going to ask John later in the season. With all of our teams that we're losing out of the districts and stuff, is it time to realign basketball?
I feel like you have to, and the same way with football. Basketball and football, you got all these single A schools that are consolidating. You got some schools, not even single A, but schools that are just dropping out. Example, you got Jim Buchanan this year, just didn't have a team. And eventually they may have a team, but you don't want to leave them out. And then when you do the realignment, you still have to put them in because if they end up coming back, they got to have somewhere to play, and that's kind of what they're getting to. And everybody's enrollment's down. Our numbers in football, every team, and I went and watched Belfry play, and Belfry had 40 kids. You don't never see a Belfry team with 40 kids. Usually that's how many freshmen they've got usually. But it's everywhere. A lot of kids just are not playing, and I believe COVID is a part of that. And the people are moving, getting out, and it's tough to find kids to participate.
And he still won a championship with 40 kids.
Well, he had a stud. he had a stud running back. I knew when Dixon said when Dixon was coming back, I'm sure Coach Haywood was very happy and probably ran laps around his house because he knew just with him, which they're good football and they're always going to be good. But when you bring a kid back like that back for a 5th year, it's big. And I knew that was going to be a big time player for him, and everybody knew it. I talked to Coach Hilton during preseason when we scrimmaged him, and he said, that Dixon kid's coming back. He said, they knew it. Kids that he's a player, and hopefully he ends up at UK. I don't know if he's going to or not, but that'd be cool to see him wearing UK blue and white.
Yeah, I know a lot of schools are after him. Auburn was after him, UK, some other big time schools. So he'll make his decision pretty soon.
Well, that's a good example of the 5th year working out for a kid because he had a preferred walk on at West Virginia. I think that was his only opportunity. So this 5th year, with what he did in the state championship, and I was there watching live, and Paducah Tillman had 7, 8 guys trying to tackle him, and they couldn't. He had 400 yards and 5, 6 touchdowns. They couldn't do anything with him.
Coach Coach Ford wants to know if you need some meal money, Dan. Are you
always? Hey, Coach, I know you're listening on February 12th. Hopefully, your first game on that new field, I'm gonna come over because I know you're supposed to name the field after me. It's supposed to be the Dan Howard Field. That's what I'm understanding. Okay, and I'll be expecting some meal money when I come over there. But seriously, that field looks awesome and it's nice. It's something you guys should be proud of. And I'm gonna be over there and hopefully get a lot of them guys that's played for you. We can get a bunch of them over there to see it, and that's going to be a nice, and it's a nice facility. I've seen pictures of it. It's really nice.
Talk about the job he's doing in basketball, Dan. I mean, I don't know how he does it. I mean, he took an Alice Floyd college. He took him. I mean, they're one of the top teams, I think, in any division. That's how good Alice Floyd is.
Well, they just beat the number 23 team in the nation over there the other night. Beat West Virginia Tech, and I think a lot of that's probably Kim behind the scenes at home teaching coach, about basketball, and she's probably helping him out more. That's more of her than it is him. He wouldn't give her that credit, but I think that's probably who it is because I know she was a basketball person. And, Coach is more of a baseball guy, and that's fine. He don't have to admit to that. And I'm sure Kim's got a lot to do with that.
Yeah. If you've never been to Alice Floyd's college basketball gymnasium, you're missing out on a very good opportunity to go. You need to go. The facilities over there is so sweet. The little locker room, Kim took us there, me and Ryan, on a tour when we was over there to watch Katie play when she played at Alice Floyd. And we got to go through the locker room and everything. They've got state-of-the-art locker room, and it's so sweet. I love their facilities, and I was wanting to try to get back. I did watch Scotland play Eastern down at Eastern on New Year's Eve, but I would love to watch them one more time. But I don't know if the schedule is going to, weather is going to predict or not. But I would love to get back over one more time. But I think
the thing that's cool. I watched them the other night on Facebook, and I think there was 3 kids from the 14th region, had a couple kids from 15th region, a couple kids from 13th region, and that's what it's all about. And you got Tobler over there. I think he's one of his better players, and had a big game the other night. And just seeing the local kids, and they're undefeated. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
And they played Eastern pretty well for a quarter. The Eastern busted open, but it was that was the Braxton didn't play in that game either for Eastern, and now Braxton's been back about a month now, and he's been lighting it up. He had a couple of 2-3 games over 15, 20 points. I think last night he had 11 in their victory over Northern Florida. But but I love watching Scott's team. I'm just amazed by the job I'm amazed by what he does for having get himself to go to basketball practice and then go to baseball practice because and he does it. He coaches both of them very well and he doesn't cheat one program to the other. He makes sure both programs are well coached. He does a great job, and I'm just proud of Scott.
Well, the thing, and he attests to this, being a head coach last couple of years, you got to have good help, and I'm sure he's got good help. He's got a couple guys I know helps him in baseball, and I'm sure he's got some good guys helping him in basketball. But you're only as good as your help and the people you surround yourself with, and I'm sure he would tell you the same thing. And I'm sure he's got some guys over there that helps him with that because I can't imagine trying to do both of those. I'm sure there's a lot of late nights and a lot of late weekends and not just the coaching part, but the stuff that goes with it. You got kids over there kind of like when I was there causing all kinds of trouble and stuff he has to worry about. There's more to it than just the game and grades and work study and all that other stuff that goes with that. And I'm sure it's tough on him, but he's doing a great job.
Well, he can't keep money in his billfold because of you, because you're needing meal money every 5 minutes. I mean, somebody's got to be took care of.
I expect it. If I come over there the 12th of February, I expect meal money because I have to have something to eat. I have to eat.
If you haven't seen Alice Lloyd's baseball field, there is a picture on Facebook. You need to look at that. That is state of the art. It is very beautiful.
Really nice.
They've also upgraded the softball facility too, that I understand. Done a little bit of work
I'm not sure.
there.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I mean,
yeah.
Usually when you get one, you get the other, and then I'm sure it's. I mean, all their facilities over there is really, really nice.
Oh, the campus right now they got some of the nicest dorms and stuff, new buildings over there that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the thing about Alice Lloyd, and it gave me an opportunity, to get my teaching degree and do everything and it's close to home. And, I graduated from there and didn't owe a dime for my bachelor's. Not many people can say that. That's the thing about Alice Lloyd, and the thing that it gives people, guys like me that an opportunity to go and get an education and then play a little baseball while I was at it. And it's just that's what it does, and that's what it was meant to do. Back when Miss Lloyd came and Jimmy Cannon and all them came in and started that, that's what it was meant to be. And those the Steps and Coach Corner and all those guys and then ladies have continued that and will for years, and that's what it's there for.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him, and I'm proud of the direction that Alice Lloyd College. Men and women both are going because the women's team's been playing lights out too. They've been they only lost one game in the conference, and they've had like 12 wins.
Coach Mills, right, does that over there.
Coach Mills,
yeah, he does a great job.
We do got one basketball. We're going to talk basketball, but Belfry's boys team found out this week that their coach resigned on Monday.
And the baseball coach took over there.
Yeah, he took. I don't know what's his name.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but I know the baseball coach is going to finish out the basketball season and do baseball also.
Yeah, but
he's from Belfry, so he's probably a Varney or Chapman or one of them Dixon or one of them. He's from Belfry. That's what they.
Speaking of Varney, how's your buddy that was coaching at Powell County? What's he doing now?
Well, he was at Montgomery County, and actually he's now at Clarke County. He's the head baseball coach at Clarke County. They've got
John
Clarke County.
John's at Montgomery County.
No,
Clarke County.
Yeah, he's with Chirico. He's Joe Chirico's football coach there, and Josh Cook. Josh Cook's the basketball coach.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you've ever been there. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been to Clarke County, but they got state-of-the-art facilities everywhere. Their football field, their baseball field's all turf. Basketball gym is really nice. Coach Cook, I've talked to him a few times there, but that's where he's at. And Coach Varney, he's the head baseball coach at Clarke County now. You
need to get Clarke County on your schedule in the future. That would be a good trip for your boys. They would love that.
Well, it's kind of like teams like that. They're 6A. When they got about 80 kids on the sideline and we've got 12, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to. We wear down there a little bit, but we don't. We'll play whoever. Sometimes it's hard to find games, and we'll play. And that's the thing about ever since I've been here at Hazard, and Coach Dixon was here. We'll play whoever wants to play, and that's the thing. These Hazard kids think they can, they can beat anybody, and that's just how it is. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Hazard. But
you look here. I have to give you and Coach Dixon credit. Coach Dixon done a really good job of Perry. I mean, he took over a program that probably football wasn't the highest priority, and they've been knocking it down pretty hard the last couple of years. I've been impressed with him.
Well, the thing about down there, and they've improved every game, and that's what you're going to get with him. And they got kids out, and that's what they wanted. And if they could, if they didn't have Johnson Central and Letcher Central sitting right there in their district, and then it'll be easier for them. But I think eventually they'll catch up to those guys, and just got to get him a little time because he's a heck of a coach, and that's proven. And it's just going to take him a little bit of time.
I don't look for Johnson Central to be in that district when realignment comes around. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. They talking about moving down to 3A, which I don't know how that could be. I think their numbers are too high for that. I would think they'd be more of a 5A. It's kind of weird right now with this COVID stuff. They're talking about using the old numbers, which if they do that, not much is going to change. They talked about using just the 2-year numbers, 19 and the 20, instead of going all the way back to 17, 18. So if they do that, a team that we always have to deal with, like Pikeville, they've got 220 boys in their school, and that classifies them for 2A. But if they don't use those numbers, you never know what KHSA is going to do when they get in the meeting room. And the thing is, you got to have 32 teams in Class A and 32 teams in 6A, and then in the middle is everybody else. That's kind of how they do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And once they get once they get to 32 and A and 6A, they got those 64 teams, and the rest of the teams go in the 3, 4, 5, 2 through 5, and that's how they do it. Yeah. So if you got a team, kind of like a Jenkins, if Jenkins doesn't have a program, they drop out. That means one team could drop down to Class A. Or Phelps, if they decide whatever, if you got a team, if you got to have 32 teams, is what they try to do, and that's this new realignment. That's what they're going to do.
So if this happens, there'll be 2 slots open in 2A or 1A for somebody to come down.
Well, could be. I don't know how many other schools have consolidated either. There may be more, but you look at a team, kind of like us this year. We only had 3 teams in our district, and next year probably only will have 3 again. They put a team like Sarah over here in our district, and you had us, Pikeville, and Sarah. I felt like 3 of the top probably 10 teams in Class A or 16, and ended up having to play each other. And that's what you get when you play the same district. That's not a knock against the other district. You got Williamsburg. Coach Aaron does a good job, and Harlan, is always competitive, and Lynn Camp, they've been down a little bit. They're always up there and competitive. And Coach Chappell Pine, we scrimmaged him last year, and they wore us out. And he's had a nice running back and a good player, and he's going to do a good job over there. But this realignment will be interesting when it comes out to see. And part of the final, they send it out, and then you can petition to play up. You can't play down. If you're in 2A, you can either play 3A or 2A. You can't go down to 1A. And if I'm in 2A, I don't know if I don't do that, because then you have to 2A stuff. You look at Mayfield, Somerset, Beechwood, LCA. That's tough. If that 3A's not, you got Belfry and Duke of Tillman and those teams. So it'll be interesting when they finally do it, which I think will be soon, and it'll be out.
I figured that you need to be looking for that around March or April. Probably you'll see the first draft, and then usually that draft ends up being the new realignment for football. So we'll get in that later. With us right now, the head man of the Lynn Camp Wildcats, Mr. Rodney Clarke. Coach, it's good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing phenomenal on this evening. How are you doing there? I'm
doing all right, man.
Got a nice team, Coach. I like your team a lot. You guys have. I was looking at your schedule earlier when I was putting my notes together for the show, and you played a tough schedule. You got some really good kids. You got 2 of the better athletes in the region, and the Allen kid, and find the other one. I think it's the Parsons kid, number 10.
Michael Engel.
Yeah, you guys have been playing a pretty good level.
Yeah, coming off of a loss yesterday against Wildcats United team, homeschool team up in Lexington. Played them last year. We actually, got them last year at home, but came up a little short yesterday on the road to them. They presented, some challenges for us. A lot of people won't agree with what you said about our schedule being tough. A lot of people have been saying we got an easier schedule, which I beg to differ. But a lot of teams, not going to travel up there. But another thing too is they've not lost a game at home this year. That homeschool team. So I would like for my team to be a little bit more consistent. But at the same time, we were off 11 days. That's a long break to be off in the middle of the season. Just because of the weather and stuff. So, but, we're not here to make any excuses. We got to get better. And, today's practice was pretty good. I felt like spirits was high. We was, in the right mindset. So we need another good practice tomorrow to get ready, for Tuesday's game against White Academy.
You're in a district where, Knox Central's over there. You got Pineville, who's improved a lot. You got Barberville, who's improved a lot. talk about your district as a whole, because I feel like it's much like the 52nd, where you got Bell, Harlan County, and Middlesboro. You got 4 scrappy ball clubs that can really play, and on any given night can beat you on any given night.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will probably, think, it's just amongst the 3 of us, the 1A schools, and then you got Knox Central, but hopefully, one of us 1A schools, we can, somebody can get Knox Central this year, because I feel like, it's destined. I said it last week on the show, I feel like it's bound to happen at some point, right? Like all good things come to an end at some point. So, I mean, between us, Barville, and Pineville, somebody's got to get them, right? So, I mean, we'll see how that works out. But it's no nights off, like you said. I mean, especially, with us, Pineville and Barberville, we normally kind of duke it out amongst ourselves, whatever, and, you got top dog, Knox Central, who's sitting there. But, I think it's going to be really, really competitive this year, and I'm hoping there's going to be a different outcome this year.
Do you guys see?
Coach, I know.
Well, I just asked you, did they seed in their district? And you can go ahead and ask your question, Dan.
Well, it's based on like who wins, like the seeding. You mean like the regular season, like when you play?
Yeah.
Yes, that's how it goes. Yes, whoever has the best record is the 1 seed, and so on. Yes.
Okay, all right.
That's good. I like that.
But we only play once though. We don't play home and home. We only play once in our district, which I would like for that to change. To be honest, I think we should play twice. I think we should play home and home.
Yeah, I think that would only be fair. I think all districts should do that. I feel like everybody should do that. I know as a coach, I'm sure you like those competitive games, and I've those kids from Lynn Camp. I'm a football guy, and every time we've played Lynn Camp, it's been a battle because those kids play hard. They're like kind of like us. They're a small school, but they're scrappy. They play hard when you play them, and I'm sure you're no different. And as a coach, you want to play them good teams because it makes you better. You don't want to blow teams out all the time because it doesn't make you better.
It does, and I just think like. Because of the logistics of it too, people in your district, normally those games aren't far. So, I mean, I think both of us should be able to get a home game each year instead of having to wait each year, where you got 2 home games, you got 2 road games when you only play each other once. So, I mean, I think that would help out. And it would help with scheduling, to be honest, too, because that accounts for 6 games at least right there. So, yeah.
Yeah, same way, with us, like I said, we had a 3-team district in football, and it's hard to find games, when you only got 2 district games, you got to fill your schedule with 8 more games, and it's tough, and you all play a lot more than we do, and that's tough. The district games you should play 2, play them twice. That would help you guys out.
Exactly.
Coach, I asked my brother this earlier, and I'm going to ask you because you being a coach, you would know more than I would. Is it about time for realignment in all of our regions? I feel like that our districts are we got some uneven districts. We got some teams that I think it's time to shake up everything and go. You know what? I'm a big fan of district tournament. I am. I've been around a long time, and I love the district tournament. But I feel like it's outdated. I think it's time for us to shake it up in the regular season and go to one conference tournament at the end of the year where everybody can play in it and make it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, how would you like that idea?
Well, the first thing is the district. Like, I mean, I've been saying it for the last 2 years. As soon as I realized it, I mean, I've said it when I had the girls, team the first year because it's my 3rd year at Lynn Camp. I mean, to me, the easiest fix for us in our district is I think Knox Central should flip flop with Williamsburg. I mean, you got 3 1A schools and a 4A school in one district, and then you've got 3 4A schools and 2 4A schools. Is it one maybe 1 4A school and 2 5A schools and then 1 1A school? I mean, poor Williamsburg is over there with Whitley, South
Corbin,
and Corbin. Like really? I mean, how about just take them out, put Knox Central in there with them, and I mean, now all of a sudden you got 4 1A schools in a district, which to me is more ideal.
Yeah. Coach, that just makes too much sense, though, right? Why would they do that? Right? Or like he's saying, I think what CJ's trying to say too. If you got 16 teams, everybody goes to the region. 16 plays 1.
Everybody goes to the region. 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15. I mean, just like March Madness, right?
Yeah, the regular season's that much more important. You go by your records, you go by RPI, and everybody goes to the region.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, that's just like, it's like, I mean, it'd be our own version of March Madness. I mean, so, I mean, I think it would be perfect. So, I mean, like, I would definitely be open to that. I mean, whatever we need to do to sign it, we got to get a petition, we got to get a meeting with somebody or something. Like, ready. I mean, I'd be all for it.
But what I sat here with Wednesday or Thursday, and I wrote down just in my mind how I would love to see it be. I would love to see some teams switch some regions and go sort of a geographic thing, or go like sort of like you got. But what I would like to see is maybe two divisions. Have one division. If you got 15 teams in your region, put 7 in one, 8 in the other. Then you can play for your district title during the regular season, just like you do in football. Then you take your district champion, you give them the number 1 seeds, you give your runners up the next seeds, the third place team the next seeds, 4, and you seed them accordingly how their record is after you have your district champion and your runner up in your conference, in your little division. You'd have Division 1, Division 2, and then everybody goes on to the regional tournament, and it would help on travel. It would help cut down. It would help if weather's bad. You know, we missed a whole week of basketball last week, so you would get that week back. Plus, you start on Monday and you run it all the way through. Everybody gets an opportunity to play in the region, and then you make the regular season mean more. What do you think about that? Because that was the stuff I was jotting down in my mind. And, you know, because here's one thing I'm going to point out. In the 14th region, in the 55th district girls, there's 2 teams, Wolf and Breathitt. Well, they're automatically in the region. They don't even have to play a game to qualify for region. And I know that ain't Breathitt and Wolf's fault, but that's not fair when everybody else has to qualify to get in the region.
Exactly. So no, I mean, that sounds good to me. I mean, any idea to make something better and give everybody more of a competitive chance. I mean, like you said too, what it also does though is it allows everybody else to play a little bit farther and play deeper. And all of a sudden that helps everybody out too now, because all of a sudden those schools, you know, they get to go out and support, like they get to generate some money. I think it's a win for everybody, to be honest with you.
I think you can still play your regular schedule. Tournaments can count as one. Your district games, you home and away. And I also think on the district games, home and away, you could rotate those. Like one time the boys can play first, the girls play last, girls play first, boys play last. So that you get your Title IX in and nobody can complain. Well, the girls play all the time first, the boys play all the time first. I would like to be the not the commissioner, but I'd like to be overall these regions, and I can set everybody straight. I can put everybody where they need to be.
Well, we definitely need somebody like you, man. You definitely need to start. The first thing is, man, you got to hit the ground running, though. You need to get this district stuff changed. That way we can try to get the districts aligned the right way.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, that's just not fair for some districts. Like I used the example just a second ago, because some teams have to qualify to get in. The others don't even have to qualify. Like the 49th district, they got 5 teams.
Wow.
I mean, they got OBI, Redbird, Jackson County, Clay County, and North Laurel. That's not fair. I mean, that's how it used to be in the old 14th region when Delscombs and MC Napier used to be a school before they built Prairie Central. There used to be 5 teams in the 54th district. It used to be MC Napier, Delscombs, Leslie County, Buckhorn, and Hazard. I mean, those were some of the best basketball you've ever seen. But, you know, this time of days, you can't have 4-team districts because, like Dan had pointed out earlier, June Buchanan dropped their program. Well, now they only got 3 boys programs in the 53rd now, and then the second, you know, and that's why we need to go to something new, something fresh, something that and it gives everybody a true competitive, a spirit competitive where it's fair to everybody.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, I'm open to that. But I mean, I think before we can get to that, I think the districts is going to have to make sense first too, which takes care of a lot of the stuff too, and then you can go on to that. So, but no, I agree with you. I mean, I definitely like the whole, 16 teams and the one place 16, 2, 15. I like that a lot, along with the district. I think that makes perfect sense, and I mean, I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of coaches would if they sit down and thought about it. I know that a lot of coaches don't have time to sit and think, but as me as being a media person, I can sit around and think of these things. You guys just need somebody to help you, try to guide you, get you going there. I know the 15th region was going to try something like this. They were still going to play their district tournament, but they were going to try to get everybody in the region, but they didn't know how to do it. So, but if you would go to the two divisions, you can, just like the SEC, you got two divisions. All you got to do is put your teams in there and you can play for your division title, still call it a district championship. And one thing that will help you too, if you have two divisions, you're going to get, say you got 7 teams in that division. You're going to play each team twice, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You're going to get 14 games right there in just your division. And then you can go schedule whatever games you want to schedule tournament-wise or whatever else you got to have to fill out your schedule. And I also think that they ought to move the games from 31 to 38 and allow all tournaments to be won. But, I don't know if they would ever do that. But this is a lot of thinking. I mean, we got to do something to make it more competitive for everybody in a fair field. And I want fairness is what I want for these kids.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I wouldn't have a problem with more games. The only thing I would say, if they're gonna let us do more games, they're gonna have to extend the season a little bit, just because you get crammed for so many days and stuff like that too. Because they normally don't want you playing more than 3 games in 1 week, unless it's a tournament. So I mean, I would be open to that. I mean, basketball is basketball to me. I mean, I just want to play. I just want my guys to play. So, I mean, I'd be open to a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of those stuffs are good points, and I like it. Like I said, I don't know how we go about getting it started.
Well, you know what, Coach? It takes one coach to go to another coach, to another coach, to a media person, to another media person. You get enough people that'll get a petition started. It can probably spread like wildfire.
Well, we need somebody like you that's got a platform like this, though, that we can actually start generating it, though, because you got the platform to do it. So.
Yeah. Well, you got to have guys like, in football, we've got Coach Haywood on the board of control, and that's what's big for us. You got to have somebody in Louisville and Lexington at those meetings that says, hey, wait a minute, we want to do this. This is what we need. This is what we want. Now, it don't always work out, but a lot of times they will listen. So, I mean, if you've got guys like that, the veterans, you say that are on those board of controls and go to those meetings. And because a lot of times, a lot of these football coaches, they're like, well, my kids didn't make All-State. I don't know if it's like this in basketball, but they send those ballots out, and if you don't send those back, your kids don't get that recognition. And a lot of people are like, well, none of these Mountain kids made All-State. Or, well, you got to get their name out there because, the Louisville and Lexington schools, their kids are going to get on there because they got coaches on those board of controls, and we've got to have that because it's a voice. You got to get on there and you got to send that stuff back.
Exactly right. Well, you got my vote, man, and anything I need to do, just let me know. Like if I need to come back on the show and say something, sign anything, just let me know. I mean, I'm all for it.
I know. I'll tell you one place that you could go to, and I think this would start it. Go to your policy board. Each region has a policy board. You have 13, 14. Everyone does. If you can get this in front of your policy board and get them to understand if you can give them a good proposal, then you can get enough people on that policy board to be with you. Then they're going to listen to you in Lexington at the KHSAA, because they're going to say, "Wow, my Lord, that many people love that proposal. Well, maybe we need to look at this. Maybe he's got a great idea. It's just something that you got. I mean, people like me, sometimes I've got a little free time on my hands. I like to do things like that because I want to make it fair for our kids and our teams. I don't want it to be like, I just don't want teams advancing the region because it's their fault that they didn't have nobody to play, but everybody else had to qualify. Why can't they? I mean, we got to do something.
I agree.
I mean, but I've harped enough on that, I think, Coach. I just wanted to get that out there to you because I know you being a basketball coach, you might be able to get a whisper in another ear, whisper it to another ear. You'll say, "God, I was on that CJ Harris show. God, he had a block."
I think I know 1 or 2 coaches that'll probably agree with that. With the district stuff starting up. So I mean, that should jumpstart it right there. Like you said, it only takes 1 or 2. So
like I said, if you can get in front of that policy board and give them a good proposal, I think it would be a win. I think you'd have a great shot of getting some changes made. But you just people's got to be wanting to do it. If you can't have one or two talk about it and not do it, if you can get the people that
I agree.
We got to see some change. I know they don't want to change tradition. I understand that the state. I ain't changing the state tournament, nor am I changing the regional tournament. I'm just making it better to where everybody gets a fair shot to be in the region. And also, I make our regular season means more if we're playing for the district. And I know, I've had Julian on the show, and I asked Julian, I said, Julian, would there ever be a time when we ever see the districts disappear? He goes, no, because it's part of our tradition. But I believe if we pushed hard enough and these teams keep falling to the wayside, what if you want up with the region with 7 teams when everybody else has quit? Everybody else didn't have enough kids to even field a team. That's happening. That's why we got to change with the times.
Well, it goes back to the money too. It's about money. I mean, that's what it's about. That's that's a big reason.
Definitely.
But I bet if you look at the financials of the last 10 years of district tournament play throughout the state, they're not making as much as they did the first 20 years of district play. When teams started consolidating, it's tore everything all to pieces. So, I mean, but that's another discussion for another day. I just want to get that out there to you, Coach, because I know you sound like a reasonable man. You sound like somebody can get that into one ear into another, can pass it on down the line, and then maybe we can get something started. And I would just love to see that because I would like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Coach. Before I let you go, we'll talk about the rest of your schedule. You got Whitefield Academy coming up on 25th. You got Barville in a big district game coming up on 28th. Then you got Redbird, and you got some games to finish out the season. As you head into district play, are you healthy? And what are some goals you want to finish strong on as you head into the tournament?
Yeah, right now we're healthy. Just a little, just trying to get our feet back up on us and trying to, get some rust off of being off of, 11 days. We do still have to get the Knox Central game rescheduled along with the Pineville game. We was actually trying to get Pineville Wednesday to come and play. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. We've been, kicking around some dates and stuff, so we're trying to see Knox Central. I think we're more closer to that date, getting that game set for February the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're healthy going into it. You got White Academy on Tuesday. We got to take care of business with that one. And then, obviously we don't have Pineville on Wednesday. You just got to prep and get ready for Barberville on Friday because that'll be a tough one. It's a true road game, true road district games, and those things that the district road games, man, those count for 2 games almost, not one. Mm-hmm. So so it'll be a tall order for us to go in there and get that game. But as long as we're right, I think we'll give ourselves a chance to go in there and get it.
Well, Coach, it's been an honor to have you on the show. You're first time I've gotten to meet you. I've been wanting to get you on the show. I wanted to get you on the show last year, and I could never find how I could get a hold of you. And but through the world of Twitter and Facebook anymore, it's you can find people if you look hard enough. But I want to thank you for coming on, and I want you to come back again. Come back again. And good luck to you and your Wildcats the rest of the season.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Thanks so much, man. Anytime you guys will have me, man, I'll be more than willing to come on.
Thank you very much, Coach. Coach Rodney Clarke of the Lynn Camp Wildcats. He's got, of course, Whitefield Academy coming up on Tuesday night there at Lynn Camp. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
All right. See you later. Okay, Coach Rodney Clarke of the Lynn Camp Wildcats. Dan, did you like my idea about basketball there? Because, that's a pretty good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of different ideas.
You're low. I can't hear you.
I said you. Can you hear me now?
No, you're still low.
I'll just try to talk louder, I guess. I don't know if these things are going dead or not. But yeah, there's been a lot of different. You hear me now?
Go ahead and then I'll try to turn it up on my end.
There's been a lot of different ideas thrown out, basketball over the years. I think, a lot of people are afraid to change. That's the thing, they don't want to change and they think, what's going on? It works and they don't want to try to tweak it any, but a lot of times you got to change with the times and try to do some different things. just like the seeding, with the districts. And, I know there's been a lot of talk about that. There's still a few districts in the state that don't seed. And I know why a lot of districts don't want to, and I understand that. It's just sometimes it's, you got to move along with the times.
Yeah, that's very important. When you got teams leaving your region and not having a team, you got to find other ways to be able to get to make your region competitive. And hopefully someday we'll maybe get all that put together. But it starts with your policy board.
Well, your basketball, I think if you had like a preseason tournament maybe, and you did something like you're talking about or something, and just try it out, and maybe if
yeah.
You need to fix,
oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, that ain't gonna work, so let's try something else.
Yeah, that would be a great idea, Dan. Have a preseason tournament where all the teams can participate and see how that tournament goes. And if that tournament goes very well, then it probably would work during March Madness. So yeah, that's unbelievable. I like that idea. We've had a great show tonight. You brought a lot of energy to the show. I have to give you credit, Dan. You've done a nice job, even though Coach Cordett's been hard on you. He won't give you no meal money.
He's always hard on me. It's about my bedtime, though. I ain't got much more left. I said, I'm about to fall asleep here at the wheel. So how many we got left here?
Well, we got very much longer, about 30 minutes. But we're going to have Courtney on here in just a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit of UK basketball. Tough loss yesterday, but I really believe if Tata hadn't got hurt, I think they would have beat Auburn.
Yeah, a lot of people. I don't watch. I watch it some. I'm not a big diehard UK basketball, but I am football. But I'll watch it some when it's on. And I know the Weaver kid being hurt too was big. And then the Sharp kid not playing. Apparently, he's #1 player in the class. And if he plays here toward the end of the year, they could be a favorite to win it all. You go to Auburn though, and had a chance to win, and they shoot 29 free throws, and you shoot 10, and you end up losing by a few points. That's you look at the positives. Of course you wanted to win the game. I believe if Kentucky sees them again in the SEC tournament, which they should, or down the road, I think Kentucky will take care of business.
Somebody was telling me that the Sharp kid, he could be eligible for the draft this coming, not this draft coming, but the draft next year. So he could if they don't end up playing him, he may wind up just going to the draft and playing G League and stuff like that. So Kentucky needs to watch that situation.
Well, I think Calipari said after the game that he'd already said he's going to stay at UK another year, is what he said. I don't know if he'll.
Yeah.
But I mean, how's he going? If they come at him and say, "Hey, you're going to be the top five pick and give you millions of dollars," it'd be hard to pass that.
Let me go back to a football question. UK picked up a big-time receiver in the portal Thursday. Javon Baker from Alabama. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, anytime you can get a 4-star, I think he was a 4-star coming out, maybe even a 5, and put him with the receivers we've already got. Losing what's his
Robinson.
Name? Went to the NFL. Yeah,
Robinson.
Forgot his name. But losing him will be big. But maybe Baker can move in there, and apparently they've got 2 or 3, 4 or 5-star guys coming in. But Robinson, I watched him play live there a couple times. He was just tough, and he saw what he did in the whole game. And you can't hardly blame him for going to the NFL. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, right. I've seen some draft mocks where he's second round, middle third. Some have him late first, middle of the second. So we'll see, because you got to see where everybody ends up, especially with all the upsets in the playoffs this year in football and the NFL. The draft order could have a lot of people moving around. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well,
joining us for the first time in quite a while to give us her.
I know.
Yeah, you ain't been with. Let's see. Right before
I couldn't even tell you.
I think right before Camille left us is the last time he was on. Yes, I'm so glad you're back. This Courtney Brewer with us, WYMT sports reporter. She has been extremely busy, and I'm guessing that she's getting set to go to Richmond this.
Yes, I
week,
am.
right?
And I'm very excited.
Yes, your first All-A experience. And Coach Howard, you need to turn up your volume because I still cannot hear you. Talk to us a minute. I think he's frozen up, but we'll get him back in a second.
Better?
No, you're still low. No, you're still low.
talk louder, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I would turn you up over here, but then she'll be loud and I'll be loud, and I don't want to be loud because we got people trying to sleep at our house, and I'm trying not to wake them up. So, but Courtney, it's awesome to have you back. I need you more often. I told John, I told him, he said, you and John need to switch. 1 week you, 1 week John, 1 week
Yeah,
you,
we
1
tried.
week John.
It's just hard because John doesn't work Sundays, and so if I'm out shooting games, he can hop on. But today I was able to do it.
Yeah, you get, like I said, you get to go to your first All-A tournament in Richmond.
Yes.
And we've got some teams that I think has a legitimate shot of winning this tournament.
I think so too.
What is sad is that I'm going to have to go in my Google for just a moment. I would already had a bracket pulled up, but I have failed you. So it won't take me a second, but as I'm doing that, let's talk about the Pikeville girls. I feel like they have a really great shot down there in the All-A.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their path, I mean, you've got Owensboro. No, that's the boys. You've got Danville Christian, and then you face either not Central or West Carter in the next round. And so I see a very clear path to them getting to at least the championship game on Sunday.
Well, here's my thoughts. We'll try to break these games down quickly. Owen County, Carlisle County. I like Carlisle County. I think that they're pretty good. Not a bad team. Jackson County, Cumberland County. I don't know much about Cumberland, but I do know that Jackson County's big, got good guard play. Cumberland County's this first time they've been there in quite a while. Jackson County's first trip in about 3 years, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. So, but I think Jackson County can win that game. I don't know a lot about Cumberland County. Paris Holy Cross, that'll be a nice game. Campbellsville and Lyon County. I think the stronger bracket's the upper bracket.
Yes.
You know, if you're looking at it, the team that everybody needs to keep their eye on though is Berea.
Okay.
Berea is the most dangerous team in this bottom bracket. We played Berea last year. Lescuddy did, and we had them down 20 points going in third quarter, and they come all the way back and beat us by 2, and we missed a ton of free throws. But Berea's got every bit of that team back from last year, and they only lost like 1 or 2 games all season, and you know they're playing Owensboro Catholic, who's year in year out usually the favorite to win the All-A. So that's going to be an unbelievable game there. And then you got the Louisville Holy Cross. I think will take care of Whitefield Academy. I think Knox County can compete against West Carter.
Ever since Mountain Classic, I am all in on some Lady Pats. All in. I love watching them play. I've gotten to see them play several times, and so I'm all in. I've bought into it entirely. I really like that squad. I really like Coach, and I think they're going to go out there and do a really good job.
I'm thinking they got the Fletcher girl back. She did play.
Wondering the same thing the last time I was at one of their games.
I believe that she is back now. I believe we were supposed to have Coach Honeycutt on the show. That was my fault because we couldn't get the phone line working for him, and he's been driving because I know they're prepared to leave Tuesday morning for Richmond. But if they can get Fletcher back, I think that they makes them even stronger. You know, even though they did lose to Letcher Central this past Friday, 2 weeks Friday night. Letcher though playing some really good basketball. But Knox County, West Carter, and then we got Pikeville. I think we're gonna get a mountain game there in the semis. I think we're gonna get Pikeville and Knox County.
I hope so because that means I'm guaranteed a game on Saturday.
Oh, you may be there the rest of the week because I think Pikeville will be in the finals. I really do. I think Pikeville. I think it'll be Owensboro Catholic, Pikeville on the bottom. I think Pikeville can win that. I think the top bracket, probably either Campbellsville or Covington Holy Cross will come out on the top. But, you know, I think whoever wins the Berea Owensboro Catholic game has got a good chance of playing Pikeville on Saturday. But you know, it would be lovely if all three of our teams could get a win in the first round. I think they all three can. I know Knox County's they got the toughest of the three games.
Yes, for sure.
Because West Carter is probably top three team in the 16th, not even being at Class A school.
Exactly.
So yeah. So that's where we are there. Now let's go to boys. Now I have to go back out. Now let's get my boys bracket up here.
I've just got my chicken scratch that makes no sense to anyone but me.
Well, I've got the bracket in front of me. That's why I was able to read you all the games. Coach Howard knows how prompt I am when I do all my homework for my show. Anything I do, I want to be prompt to make sure I got plenty of information.
Can you hear me now, CJ? Can you hear
No,
me?
you're still low. You're still low.
All right, I think my phone's about to die anyway. So if you lose me, y'all just keep going and you'll be fine with that. If you lose me, that's what happens.
Well, I don't want you to leave. I want to hear your final comments, but you could always plug your phone in the wall.
Huh?
Well, stay with us as long as you can. You're doing good. Now the boys. What do you think about the Pikeville boys?
They were so good at that 15th region game. And I went into that 15th region championship game not knowing who was going to come out on top because Betsy Lane has been ridiculous this year. Pikeville's been ridiculous this year. Mm-hmm. I got really scared there when Keen Works went down, but he's been playing like he never went down. And so I want to be optimistic because I have seen this team just play some ridiculous ball. I don't know a thing about Owensboro Catholic.
They're not bad. The
I mean, you can't be bad in advance to this thing, but still.
Murray is probably the best team in the upper bracket.
Okay.
And so if Pikeville can get by Owensboro Catholic, they're going to play Murray in that quarterfinal game. That's going to be a beast of a game because Murray's got two kids that are averaging about, I think, like 16, 17 points a game, 7 or 8 assists a game. They're, the bottom bracket is not as strong as the upper bracket. We've lost my brother. Hopefully he'll come back, but if not, thank you very much for being with me, Dan, and I'll give you some more props at the end of the show. Courtney can help me finish out what we need to finish out with here. But Danville Christian Murray, I like Murray. I think I'm going to take Pikeville. I think Pikeville will find a way to win this game. This is a 10:30. This is a morning game. I think Owensboro Catholic may still be wanting a bowl of cereal, so that may be hungry. So I think Pikeville will take advantage of that.
I will say this schedule is a bear. The fact that hypothetically Breathitt County would have to play at, and we'll get there. Breathitt County would have to play at 8 p.m., turn around, and it is a ridiculous bracket.
Let me tell you about this bracket. If you've never been a part of it, I went with Leslie County back when they're still in Frankfort.
I went to a 6A school. We didn't get to do these extra little fun things.
Well, this is the funnest tournament. You're gonna have a great time this week.
Oh, I'm so excited. You're
gonna have a great time. I'm glad that Josh let you sent you there because I think this is gonna be a great environment for you. If you've got an 8:30 game, you have to wake up and get your kids up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You have to make sure they got breakfast. You have to be on the road from your hotel to go play. Well, if you lose, you got to pack up and leave.
Yep, and get out of there.
So this tournament puts you in so much you ain't got flexibility to play with. Like you think you're sleeping real good, and an alarm goes up. God, we play in 3 hours. We got to get up.
Yep.
Most of the girls and boys that play in this tournament do decently well for that morning game. And then if you play a night game, have to come back and play a morning game, like you was talking about, the girls at least will have a day to rest. But the first 4 games are all morning, are 8:30, 10:30, 1:30, and 3:30, 3 o'clock. That'll be the girls' quarterfinals. Then the boys' quarterfinals is the late game. So
it's late, yeah.
But you're gonna have a great time. I'm glad you get to go. I think I like Pikeville. I like West Carter over Todd Central. I think Todd Central, though, is a pretty good ball club. They were pretty close of getting in the statewide top 25 poll. But that'll be a knockdown drag out. Kentucky Country Day, we know what they are in football, but what are they in basketball?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know much about Evangel Christian, but I would say Kentucky Country Day could take that game.
I would think so.
Not putting down Evangel Christian, I think they can play, but they're going to play leaps and bounds above. In the bottom bracket, you got Walton, Verona, and Brecken County. Walton, Verona, you got to like them a lot. They're always there year in, year out. Here's a nice game. Campbellsville and Harlan. Harlan last night. Now, I'm not picking on you guys because but I was watching highlights of the Harlan. They played yesterday in the Redmond Classic there at Madison Central, Madison Southern yesterday. You know, you're watching the highlights, and they don't show one highlight of Harlan. Everything was going. Oh, they played Paris. Everything's going. Paris hit a three. Paris hit a layup. Paris got a steal at a layup. Paris just final score. Harlan 88. Paris 56.
See, even when I shoot blowouts, I try to put in like a play from the losing team, and they won, and they weren't.
Didn't see one Harlan play the whole segment. I mean, it's like, oh, come on, look, they do it all the time. All kinds of stations, even ESPN does that in their sporting. They'll call the losing team. They'll show tons of highlights of them, very little of the winning team.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't like that very much. But the Campbellsville Heart, I love this game. This is after the season. Harlan, if they can not turn the ball over, they can beat Campbellsville. Campbellsville leads state in turnovers. They're defensively like 4th or 5th in the state in defense. So this is going to be a tough game for them.
I think so too. I've gotten to watch a lot of Harlan. I covered a lot of the 13th Regional LA. Obviously, they were at Mount Classic. Can't remember the name of my own freaking tournament. But they are, if they can hold on to the ball, they are going to not only score, they are going to put up numbers. When you're dealing with a really talented turnover team, you can't really bank on having these big games that Jordan Cal and co have been having. And I will say that starting five is just stupid, but you have to actually give them opportunities to score.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Breathitt County, they've lost 2 in a row. But I will have to say this. They played Wolfe County. I watched the Wolfe County game the other night, and if you've ever been to Wolfe County, it's a very hostile environment to play in. And I seem to feel like that Breathitt County did not take. They had some advantage. They didn't take advantage of Wolfe County's. I thought they spent too much time around the 3-point line, and it got them in trouble. I didn't feel like they used their size enough on Wolfe County because Wolfe County's on the Richie kid is the one that can guard them inside. And Breathitt, Wolfe beat them 2, I think, and then Breathitt yesterday won. And then Breathitt turns around yesterday and loses again. They lose on the road at I can't remember who beat them, but Breathitt's going in with 2 losses. That's not a good way to go in when you're playing Lyon County team that you're better than. If you don't go in there,
it's not a good way to go in mentally, and it's not a good way to go in physically. You haven't gotten those chances to just ball out like we've seen them do this season. I really like Coach Noble, and I think he leads that team in such a powerful way. I just hope they show up on Thursday and look like the Breathitt County team we saw in the Mountain Classic, saw at the 14th Region All Day.
Yeah. And the final game of the boys is Covington Holy Cross against Sayre. And we saw Sayre in football this year. We saw what kind of season they had. Unbelievable. Had great athletes. Coach Pennington, of course, his son. Now they're putting up the numbers on the hardwood. This will be a pretty good ball game too. But I expect Covington Holy Cross to win it because Sayre's not been there in a while. This been a couple, 2 or 3 years since they've been there. Okay, now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Come Sunday, do we have a mountain team in either of the boys or girls finals?
At least, Pikeville girls are going to be there. I think boys could be a bit of a toss-up. I think teams could advance really far, but it's a matter of if they show up on that day. Pikeville's going to be there. Pikeville girls are going to be there. I can say with almost absolute certainty. And I hope people my friends up in Pike County are watching this and saying I'm going to jinx them, because that's not really a jinxable team. I thought I jinxed them all football season, and look what they did.
Yeah.
So I think we'll really see them there on Sunday, and I think that is just going to be so special for this team. With Kyra active, there's nothing you can't do.
Well, they also got the Thornsbury kid eligible last week.
That's what I'm talking about.
She just adds to their already talented good kids they had.
I was at her very first game, and it was like everyone was freaking out, and she lived up to the hype.
Yeah, she's a great player, you know. I was talking with Coach Clarke. I don't know if you heard our interview. We were talking about some way of making maybe it's time for realignment.
When does realignment come up?
Well, football realignment is coming up this year. We're going to see the new team. We're going to see how many teams there is in Kentucky. We'll find out what class we're going to be in, what district you're going to be in, probably March or April. That's when it's coming out. Coach Howard did confirm that today or last week they had to fill their surveys out. They had to fill everything out for the realignment. They had to send it back in. Usually they take about a month. And he told me something that was interesting. And I didn't know this in football. They take care of Class A first by filling their 32 teams. Then they take care of 6A by giving their 32 teams. And then everybody else is just throwing in the middle from 2 to 5.
That's weird.
I did not know that. I always thought that they would. Yeah, that was the first
time
I ever heard of that. Yeah, you would figure when you go, but you know, we've had a lot of schools enrollment go down big time.
Oh.
And I'm going to use the 14th region. This is what I used with Coach Clarke. I got him all pumped up. I had him so excited. I mean, and I did it because he's a basketball coach, because he would understand this more. You're being on the media side with me. I want to see if you can understand this. And I'm going to ask John when I see him again on the show the same question I'm asking you. Okay, I'm going to use Breathitt County and Wolfe County girls just for an example. They don't even have to qualify to go play in the region because there's only 2 teams left in their district.
Right.
Okay? That's okay. First of all, I'm not blaming Breathitt. I'm not blaming Wolfe. Not their fault. Not their fault. But that ain't fair to the other teams that have to qualify to go play in the district, to go play in the region. They've got to qualify to go play in the region. It's not, you know, you don't see, nobody says, okay, well, Hazard Prairie's so good, we're just going to let them go on. And the other 2 teams, they can't go. I want to be able to get to a point where we can maybe do something like this. Each region have 2 divisions, Division 1, Division 2. You got 15 teams in your region. Say you got 15. You split them. You give 7 in one division, 8 in the other. Okay, you play for your district championship during the regular season. You do it by playing the teams in your division. You have a district champion and runner-up. You seed them according to their record. Okay, you don't have a district tournament. You have one super regional tournament where you let everybody go. You seed them 1 through 15, and you let everybody play in it, and then you see who the best is. But then Coach Howard brought up a good point that, okay, well, that they're going to frown. Well, how about you do it in the preseason? What about a preseason tournament in every region? Let everybody play in a preseason tournament with the same same stuff I just told you. Play under those conditions and see how it looks. And if it's a successful tournament, then you know it's going to be good for March Madness.
Exactly.
Now, what's all your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, I agree with you. It's so hard with these teams who do get just sent to region because you are an insane team. Like, I don't know, since we were just talking about them, they're on my mind. If you're an insane team like the Pikeville girls and you have one bad day, your chance at going to rep is gone. Whereas some of these other teams waltz into the regional tournament. And so I do think that's a good idea. And especially to like test the waters in the preseason and then implement it if it works, like why not? I mean, the only really preseason tournament you have right now is our tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, the rumors are that you guys are going to move your tournament back January. Is what we're hearing.
They haven't told me that.
They haven't told you that, but everybody's talking out there in the public, and usually when the public starts talking, people start listening, because I have already had a ton of people tell me they do not like the tournament in December. One reason they don't like it, none of the teams are ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you got like North Laurel. If you played the tournament in first week of January, North Laurel runs away with the girls. Knox Central probably runs away with the boys, because they have 8, 10, 12 games under the belt. Those things don't happen.
They've worked out all the kinks.
Exactly right. So the scuttlebutt on the outside is everybody else wants to see it go back to January. I would love to see it go back to January, because I think that was the most favorite time of the year. That's when the Mountain Classic was. It was also when you had the Mountain Classic and then the All-A Regional the next 3 weeks, and then you get state, because it made January mean something. And the All-A is still great, but I'm saying if you had the Mountain Classic the first week there, and then you had the All-A, But I'm more of a trying to make it better for our kids and our teams. We've got to find a way to make it more fair. I mean, 'cause it's not fair. We're not. There's no fairness when Wolf and Breathitt automatically make region. They didn't qualify. Nobody didn't have qualified.
Right.
But then that's not, like, again, I keep saying this because I don't want them mad at me. It's not their fault, because they've only got 2 teams in their district. Like in the 53rd boys, you've only got 3 teams in there. You got Cordia, you got Letcher, and you got Knox County Central. Well, they've all 3 beat each other. They seed, but JBS don't have a team. So one of those, the team ends up getting their more seed, is going to go on to the region, while the other 2 has to play each other to qualify. So, I mean, but, like in the 40, use the 13th, for example. 49th district has 5 teams. You got OBI, you got Redbird, you got Jackson County, you got Clay County, you got North Laurel. Why is there 5 teams over there? There's 4 teams in the other 2 districts. Why not send one of those other teams in the 14th region and play in that Breathitt County district over there, and let them make one of those teams have to earn a spot to go?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got better ideas, but I'm saying we've got to find a way to make it fair.
Right. And to distribute not only the talent, but the opportunities better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so there's so, and I as I told Coach Clarke, I said, you'll be the right man to get one coaches here and another coach here if you want to get a petition going, stuff like all this and that. But where you have to really get it going is finish your policy board. Each region has a policy board. They take care. They set certain rules for sports and academics. If you can get in front of them and give them a great idea and they run with it, then you got a great opportunity of it happening. When my brother brought up the preseason thing, I think that was, I'm more for to see how it would work.
Yeah, test it out.
Test it. If it done well, then you know what you will have when you get to March. So, I'm just trying to find, I'm just wanting to find better ways to make it fair for everybody. And, eventually we'll get there, but I just wanted your thoughts on you, because of being a media person.
Well, I'm still figuring out all the ins and outs of how it does work, because when I was in high school, we just won state and I didn't even know what the district was. They said we won the whatever district. I said, what's that? And now that I know the ins and outs of it, I'm trying to decide what I think is best, and so on and so forth.
See, like in the 55th district, okay, you got Breathitt and Wolf girls are going to play each other. They automatically, that's the championship game's already set, because there's no Jackson City and no Riverside. All right. The boys over there, they got Jackson City does have a team. So Jackson City's going to end up playing, Wolf and Breathitt are split, so they determine the number 1 seed by record. Right now, Breathitt has a better record than Wolf, but that could change by the season when the season.
Yeah.
And you have to have your final. You have to have your final note. You have to have your final record by the time you have your district meeting, because everybody has a district meeting and that. But that tournament's not going to last more than probably two days, 3 at the most. And this year, the regional tournament for the girls is first, because the girls' state tournament's first,
right?
And the boys' regional tournament is first. So there could be a chance that the girls could play like the boys did last year. You remember how Breathitt County had all 4 games? Well, you went with us then, but they had all 4 boys games in one day. All they had left was semifinals and the championship to play, because in case the weather got bad,
right,
they wouldn't have to worry about getting them made up. So it was a great day of basketball. So I'm expecting maybe the 14th especially to try that. And then I would doubt the 13th and 15th will, because they play at Corbin and Pike Arena. It would be hard for them to do that on Saturday. So
I was just talking to somebody about that, about how there's pushes to bring those things back to the schools. And I was thinking, like, well, I live in the 14th region. There isn't even, to my knowledge, a venue to do that in the 14th region.
In the 14th region, they play at 4 gyms. They play at Knott County,
right,
Perry Fiscal, Powell County, and Breathitt. Well, where they're having the do-over year in the 14th, Breathitt and Perry get to host the region again, because they said they didn't get to make any money. So, I did hear about the 13th. Why do you think Harlan County built that big arena? Because they thought someday they get to host the regional tournament. You got all that big space, beautiful place to play. And
I've only been there once. I need to go back.
Yeah, that was the night I saw you there when we put Let's Kitty Girls played and South Laurel played. That's crazy. But we'll get to more of that as we get towards district play, because we're going to, in the weeks to come, we're going to have district tournament draw. I'm hearing that February the 4th, I think, is going to be the state tournament draw for the boys and girls state tournament. I think it's going to be Friday.
I'm going to write that down.
No, I'm not. I'm hearing that September. I'm hearing February. Let me look at my calendar. To make sure I'm hearing February 4th, but what I'm hearing. I'm hearing February 4th. Yeah, because they usually do it either 28th or the 4th. I expect they'll do it the 4th, because that gives them 3 weeks, and then everybody will know where state tournament draw and everything. So I would be looking for that. So that'll be on. You can see it on TV too if you can't be there.
Right.
Wouldn't want to miss out on that. But
no.
I got 3 minutes in the show. You just want to finish out with me?
I would, but I gotta go with this NFL game that's happening right now. That's apparently bonkers. I need to work on our show, but I wish I could.
That's fine. I just got 3 minutes. I just need to end the show. But Courtney, thank you so much for being with me.
Of course.
You have a fun time next week. I would say John will be back with me next Sunday. Then probably
hopefully I'll be back to next Sunday. Maybe we'll start getting another rotation about it.
The only thing I didn't get to mention with you is about Noah getting 66 last night. What do you think about that?
He's a sophomore. He's a sophomore.
66. They scored 128 points. I know. That's crazy. It is crazy. Courtney, you're doing a great job. You guys keep up the great work. And I will see John on Sunday night. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thank you.
Be safe. Have a good time down in Richmond.
I will. Thank you.
All right. You too. Bye. See you, Courtney. All right. Courtney, you're going to go to Richmond there to play in go cover the boys and girls All-A state tournament down in Richmond there. I'm going to go ahead and end the show with my notes. I want to thank everybody that called. With several calls now. Q-Man called. John Newell called. We were supposed to hear from Coach Honeycutt. That was my fault. Hopefully we'll get him back on the show here in a week or two. I want to thank Coach Sizemore, Coach Clarke, and Courtney for all being with us. I want to thank my brother, Dan. Well, Dan, you did awesome. Thank you so much for being with me. His phone went dead on him there towards the end. And we didn't get to hear his final comments, but they would have been great. As far as the basketball sports report, I cannot tell you when I'll be having one of those because of games being scheduled and removed, stuff like that. But I will have one. If I don't have one this week, I'll definitely try to have one next week. Get my ratings back out to you guys. I know you like that. I'll be back with you next Sunday night for episode number 23 of the CJ Harris Show. Corey Hoskins is going to be my co-host. Corey was going to try to be with me tonight, but he had late basketball practice. So he'll be with me on next Sunday night. Also, Judie Mason was going to be with me tonight. She's going to actually be one of my guests, and we'll have other guests as well. We'll take your phone calls too. To get the opportunity to go to the CJ Howard, put in CJ Howard in the search bar on YouTube. You can go over and subscribe for me. Give me some subscriptions. I need 1,000 of them if I want to do some more live stuff over there as well. I want to thank everybody that watched the show. And I want to thank everybody that left comments. I want to thank everybody that participated. I want to thank you every week for being making me feel welcome and you guys loving the show. This is CJ Howard, rounding third, heading for home. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week with the CJ Howard Show at 8 o'clock on the CJ Howard Show. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless.